Hi everyone, and Dragon with you. So we made a fight with Osh level 150, and by mistake we forgot to change the difficulty, so all the minions started at 150 level as well. Today I would like to show our top 6 players which managed to beat over 5 million with their teams. And we start from bottom, so that's my teams which I used. As you can see, I managed to collect only one team, which is a typical Osh team, which can beat crazy amount of damage because, well, it's not maxed as you see. Also, I thought that Marsa without patronage will be faster. Panter told that should work and the boost will be more often. That's why I removed patronage from Marsa. But in general, it's a typical Osh team. Also about other teams, so this one is focused on defeating the front line so that you don't die from spheres. At the same time, all these characters are played at my main team, and that's why they can survive. Also, we have Synergy, Albus, Qing, Yasmine, and Iris, and Corvus. They all deal some pure damage, which means it can be bonus for Albus. And yes, my Albus isn't so big. Another option was to play mages. Usually I put Celeste in this team, but at the same time, even weak Rufus is able to have some healing from Oliver, which results into better survival. So you know how Osh team fights, that's why let me show you real quick two other teams, and then we'll move to the next fighter. So that's the idea. Rufus will not die from magic damage, also he heals from it. Then we have combination standing around Dorian, but unfortunately, as you can see, only Orion was able to survive. So my healers and faceless aren't good enough. Theoretically, they can add some damage and also help each other. But in fact, it was Orion near Dorian who was the main damage dealer all the time. So I didn't work seriously on skins of faceless and healers. That's why they failed, but still you can play ODH, you can play some other combinations, and they can survive. About this team, everything is pretty simple. So if we look at the fight, then we see that Yasmine needs to survive the damage. At the same time, Qing and Corvus can break the front line, which results into removing all the spears at once. And as usual, we have armor penetration buff, which makes other more effective. Remember that Bitey with armor penetration also sounds great. And Albus has synergy with pure damage. So that's the main idea of what you can see here. Obviously, you could use another setup, so I just collected a powerful combo which buff each other and which can survive long enough to deal some damage too. Okay, now about the other champions who dealt a lot of damage. So the best team is Osh as usual. Not surprised at all. So that's the setup. This time we have Marsa with Axel, a typical patronage, but he has a better Albus. And if talking about other teams, so his Keira team was the second. He managed to survive and deal a nice amount of damage. Now let's check other. So Dmitriy played several teams, but only one team except of Osh managed to do something. So that's the setup. Also, we have a magic combo, Celeste Healers and Orion, and Yasmine and Galahad, which can also synergize together. At the same time, you see that his Albus is better than mine, and let's check this fight. So the idea is kind of similar. We have two combos here, but at the same time, your Isaac isn't here, so Yasmine needs to survive all the magic damage. Looks like Demons or Dmitriy's can survive. Yes. Well, at least almost there. And in the end, a typical mages, but no Dorian here, so Celeste should help them to survive. Probably that's maybe a problem. Okay, let's go to another. Gold Panter. Gold Panter has Osh team, which is obvious, and a magic team. So I really like this idea of playing mages together with Merlin because Merlin makes it easier for mages to break through magic defenses. And a setup is similar. So we have Orion, Dorian, Hellios, Aurora to tank damage and strike it back, and Celeste to buff all of them. Let's see how this team works. I think she played an auto, but that's still kind of okay. Yeah, looks like she plays an auto. But anyway, Aurora feels great, mages too, so why not? The next is Highlander. Highlander plays a mage setup which he plays on Arena and Guild War, also so that the stats for Highlander's team. And also, as I told, you can copy Orion with Faceless or Hellios with Faceless or even Aurora with Faceless, anyway it works. Only Dorian cloning isn't so good. So at the same time we have same tank and that kind of works. Let's see what Highlander does. So I recommend to copy either Orion or Hellios, but at the same time, whatever Faceless can copy, that makes sense, except probably cloning Dorian. The only problem is that Dorian needs to heal himself, which is kind of, can you survive 2 minutes? If he can, then okay. If not, well, he still grants lifesteal aura, which means the team will lifesteal, and that still works. And finally, we have Pierre. So Pierre is the greatest fighter, but as you can see, all of the team income was from Osh team, and that's a typical gameplay of Osh team. You see kind of same patronage everywhere, and middle albus. So finally, I'll show you the Osh team fighting at example of Pierre. So that's actually the teams which resulted into highest income of damage to Osh. Obviously, people chose different buffs depending on what they need, but at the same time, I would say that Osh team is still probably one of most effective among our players. So what about minion log? So at minion log, I can choose only some fights which I performed, and I'll focus on bosses. So telling about Merida, Naos and Rah-Ozu is what I wanted to share with you. First of all, the fight against Merida. So she will try to make your characters sleep, and that's kind of creating nightmares. But at the same time, she is pretty vulnerable, so you need just don't let other nightmares eat your army. And maybe you need a tank to make a nightmare just stand there and not avoid it. About Naos, Naos is very important. He attacks the backline. So if I played Dorian previous time and I died, But Marsa managed to heal herself from the distance, which results into healing, and also you can heal her with Celeste if you need. So my typical setup this time was Marsa and casual combo of Yasmine and Chinmao, so healer with armor penetration and with damage improvement. That's what we had against Naos. He's kind of tanky, so I needed some time to remove him. But in general, the idea is pretty simple. You defend your backline, and then you just need a good idea of damage. And finally, Rah-Ozu. We have spheres, you need to defend against them, and that's kind of all I wanted to show. So the spheres are alike to Osh. If you remove the front line, then probably it's not a big problem for you. Just remove the spheres, don't let them stack. And that's when it gets vulnerable, try to get as much damage as possible. Okay, so I hope this information helps you to fight Osh maybe next week. Thank you for watching and see you in my next videos. Good luck to you.